If internal vigilance is the price we have to pay for liberty, then we may have to brace up to pay more as a country. The Department of State Services, DSS, has raised the alarm that criminal elements are planning to bomb worship places like churches and mosques, as well as public infrastructure and relaxation centers. But the DSS said it is determined to disrupt such plans. Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari says without mass and popular support for the armed forces, the war against terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping cannot be won. I thought we've passed through this era. That there was a time under former President Goodluck Jonathan, it was a Sunday thing, and for a long time, any Sunday, they're going to attack worship centers and everything, and thank God it's safer now. But now, if this is going to be introduced according to the DSS, there's insecurity across the country, as in,
I think that whenever the DSS issues this kind of warning, it's in our best interest to not handle it with levity. I'm also concerned. I talked about a trend that was not there before, that we are now seeing, because Boko Haram was not operating in Taraba before now. But we've seen them down there.
Sometimes they go out of this thing.
Yes, they were in the northeast, but it was not among those three states. They have
significant presence in Niger.
No, that's not even where I'm going. At the height of their powers, they did not go to Taraba to kill people. Yes, we said they were in the northeast, but they were limited to Adamawa, Yobe, and Borno State. But now, they bombed people at Bia Palo, and they've come out, ISWAP has come out to say, we did it. Remember when the Americans warned that these jihadist elements were going to the northwest, a lot of us dismissed it, as we usually do. Today, you and I know, and even the Minister of Defense has come out to say Boko Haram and bandits are planning operations together in the northwest. But we were warned. The Americans had warned us a long time ago, not less than 3-4 years ago, that these guys were making plans to go to the northwest. Today, they are not only in the northwest, they are in Niger, in the Shiroro area. The governor even mentioned communities that they have taken over, that are now their own. But this idea, if they can be bombing beer parlors, if they can go to beer parlors to slaughter people like ram, the way they did in Gaydam, are we sure that they can't resume attacking mosques and churches? Because the truth is they've attacked mosques in the past. So it's not churches alone that they've killed Muslims.
Much more.
They have killed, they attacked mosques. They've attacked mosques in the past. So we have to admit that. They are looking for who to kill. They don't have a religion. They fool you because they are bearing Muslim name, but that doesn't make them a Muslim. It's not the hood that makes the monk.
They want to cause that.
It is your way of life that will show whether you are a Muslim or you are a Christian. If your way of life is not Christian-like, then you are not a Christian. Yes, you are not a Christian. If your way of life is not in sync with what the Holy Prophet prescribes or prescribed, then you cannot claim like you are a Muslim. You are just a bloody pretender. So this is the thing. We have to be ready. The kind of security measures that we put in place in those days, they are no longer there. The kind of routine checks will stop a car, will search. We no longer do those things. In those days, we are coming to Abuja from the airport. You know how many times you will be searched. Are we still doing that? The answer is no. So we have to be careful. We have to be ready for anything.
All right. Okay, we'll take this break. When we come back, we'll talk more. Still Journalist Hangouts. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Journalist Hangouts, and we are looking at the security situation across the country. Just before we went on break, it was we were analyzing how these people have changed their operations.
Yes. What I was saying was we have to be ready. In those days, when it became almost a weekly affair for them to attack a church, churches created barricades.
Yeah, I remember.
You know, you can't get up to 100 meters to a church on a bike because they were using motorbikes to carry out those attacks. So, and they created those huge iron bars to protect
barriers.
Yes, the roads leading to the churches and all that. They did it in Kaduna, in Kano, different places. And then states also moved to take other actions. Kano, one state where I never thought they could ban Okada. Kano banned Okada. Before then, we had more Okadas in Kano than any state in Nigeria. But they banned it because they saw that Boko Haram was using Okada to kill people. They will come, gun down people, and then escape on a bike. They will come, drop a bomb somewhere, escape. You know, they were attacking bus terminals, these luxury bus terminals in Kano, New Road and all that. That was where they were attacking. But today, those things are no longer happening because certain steps were taken. But if we see signs that these undesirable elements appear to be going back to their old ways, then we have to be ready, we have to prepare for it so that we won't be caught unawares. That's what the DSS is telling us. The DSS issued a warning sometime in December that there was going to be a meeting that Boko Haram fighters all the way from the northeast were coming to the north central to have a meeting with bandits. We are seeing evidence of all of that now. So when they warn us in this manner, we should not dismiss the warning. We have to work hard to make sure that we're on top of the situation.
Now, apparently, we thought we've left that era, but with this warning now, what are those proactive steps that our security agencies must take?
Biko has mentioned some of them, but the usual fear is, do we have enough manpower to do this? Because we are fighting on so many fronts with the little or the insufficient number of operatives that we have. We are fighting on so many fronts. The northwest, northeast, north central, south-south, southeast. So too many centers of fighting. Thank God that the southwest now has Amotekun that is doing substantially well. Otherwise, the way things were some months back in the southwest, you would also have needed large deployments of the military to the southwest. So if we are doing this, then even as individuals, it now means we also must become security conscious. Because the best option that we have is prevention, as we are now. The churches, the mosques, they need to go back to those eras where people are checked, where barricades are mounted, so that we can avoid all of these things. Because if we don't do it, and we are waiting that it's the military, it's the police, it's the civil defense that will come and help us through and through, then we are just joking about it. We really, really need to do more.
Okay, we have Festus calling us from Lagos. Thank you for joining us, Festus. Hello, Festus. Oh, I think we lost Festus. So, gradually, now I trust the report, the security report of the DSS. Trust, and I'm sure they will take proactive steps to forestall these attacks.
Yes.
Because
I think they should do a lot more. The DSS early into the insurgency, the DSS made some significant breakthroughs. The arrest of Kabru Sokoto in one local government in Taraba State.
Okay.
They found him, he was hiding inside his wardrobe. They used this geo location device to pinpoint his exact location. And they stormed the building and found him hiding inside the wardrobe. That's the coward who killed people Christmas Day in Madala.
In Madala, Niger State.
He killed dozens of people, but here you are a bloody coward. He was hiding inside his wardrobe. The way a rat hides, to steal our things. Now, what did they find with Kabru Sokoto? They found aphrodisiacs. Aphrodisiacs.
Very randy.
Yes, that means he's a randy fellow.
The same thing Osama bin Laden.
Aphrodisiac, what are you using it for? You know? So
Taiwo, we have Taiwo from London.
Hello.
Thank you, Taiwo. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, good afternoon. And well done for the good job you're doing.
Go ahead, Taiwo.
Regarding the discussion about DSS raising alarm about churches, mosques being bombed by the terrorists.
Yes.
I've never heard of such thing before. Usually, the security agent would have arrested people and then they will announce that these people were attempting to do this and they've been arrested, they're behind bars. But now that you've made the announcement, do you expect the people to wait for you to come and capture them? So I was shocked to hear that it's been announced. They should have been arrested, prosecuted, be behind bars, and thrown the key, down the drain or somewhere, and then tell people that we have protected you from these people. So I think they should take this on board. You shouldn't come out and reveal that kind of secret. Just do the job and then,
thank you, Taiwo. I thought he was taking it a notch higher that, look, they're not meant to announce to us.
I think
they're meant to have apprehended the culprits.
They are not announcing.
What she didn't get right.
She got it wrong. They are warning us that it appears that this trend, just the same way we spoke about it ourselves here 2 days ago, that it appears that they've gone back to this kind of bombing that we've not seen in more than 5 years. So it's just to tell people to be vigilant.
Because when you look at the case in Taraba,
they've not done anything wrong.
Somebody walked into a beer palace and
with a nylon bag.
A nylon bag and walked out.
That used to be the trend. In churches, they will tell you don't come to your church with any bag.
With any bag. So what it tells us is, if you go to relaxation spots, if you go to churches, watch the person next to you.
Yes.
Once the person drops something suspicious, raise an alarm. That's what the DSS has said to us.
And in the past, people had raised the alarm that they arrested someone and found them with explosive devices.
Yes, severally.
So the thing is a collective thing. So they are telling us, let's be vigilant. It appears these guys are back to doing this. So let's not sit back and imagine that the war has been won, that they cannot offer any threat again. I always warn about this in that, look, this kind of warfare, there's no point relaxing at any point because, look, when you assume that they are dead, you then see that they are coming up with new tricks. And so now we are dealing with them in the northeast. Of course, they are going to change tactics. For ISWAP to have taken responsibility is because they know that ISIS will be happy. Because they are affiliated to ISIS. ISIS will be happy and they will continue to fund them as long as the reports are coming to them that they are carrying out attacks. That's the thing. That's the whole essence. So it's not. I don't think they've done anything wrong by telling us to be careful.
Now, these guys are well funded. The way they go about their operations and everything, and if the government, if we don't do anything to go after the money, go after their finances, go after the source of income. But they've told us the Dubai government, the United Arab Emirates government, They've prosecuted some people and they've recommended some people to us. And it's so difficult for us to take it from there and to prosecute people and convict people, get conviction that these are the sponsors of Boko Haram.
You know, the way our own system is not as efficient as those of other climes. We mustn't lose sight of that. And the second part to it is this. In our part of the country, we say there are some people that you are not watching, but they are watching you, meaning that they have an edge. When you close one means of moving money for these terrorists, they open 10 others. And in pursuing them, it means it must be relentless. It means this is something you must do from time to time. So movement of money for them is quite easy. Sometimes they do it in terms of goods. Send in the goods, they sell it, and they use it for whatever they want. They send in the arms and all the rest. But the important thing is eternal vigilance. Whether as individuals or as security operatives, as an institution, we must always be on top of the game. Prosecution is good, but our own system, even with some of the small cases we are talking about, look at the first two that we mentioned, the Osenachi Nwachukwu and the Dowen chap, Romani. They are still there. Romani, for instance, you expect that in a matter of 1 month, everything would have been sorted out. We are still at the point of just calling witnesses, the people to come. So it's a situation we must deal with in our own context, in our own way, which means we must first be vigilant and ensure that these things don't happen. Then let the security agencies do their job.
And
go after the sources of funding.
Information, we should provide information.
Yes, provide information.
President Buhari is saying without mass and popular support
we
for
must
these
support.
forces,
We must
the war
support
against terrorism, banditry, and kidnapping cannot be won.
It can be won.
Yeah, they need our support. I was in the Northeast in December, and one of the generals who accompanied me for the trip to Kadamari said that sometimes they see it on the faces of people in the community when they come to bust Boko Haram there. They see hunger on the faces of those people. How can soldiers lay down their lives? They come to a community to bust Boko Haram. And anger is written on your faces. I mean,
with them.
Yes, they live with them. They know where these guys are. They are not ready to provide information. You know, I can't explain that. Why would people be encouraging and supporting these people? There was an old woman that was arrested. You know what she does? She helps them to keep their guns. They come and keep the guns with her.
Because they won't easily suspect she's involved.
Yes, because you know their operation has changed now. They operate more like armed robbers now. They just tell themselves then they will now meet somewhere. Okay. Not that they will now come like dozens. They used to do that before.
Or motorcycles come about 200 of them.
The air power will crush them. So they will tell themselves, okay, let's meet somewhere. That's where they will now meet, and then they attack. So but we can't be supporting people who are killing our people. It makes no sense.